I'm going to show you how to smoke salmon. You're going to need a smoker, and these are fantastic smokers. They come with the Big Pig, which is a great little outdoor heating system, but also a fantastic barbecue, charcoal grill, and also smoker. We're going to use the smoker today. Cold smoked salmon is something that everyone has tried and most people like. I don't think you've really enjoyed hot smoked salmon until you've had it fresh though. Smoking salmon is a good way of preserving salmon, but to have it as a non-preserved item, so something that's fresh out of the smoker, is completely different. So I'm going to show you how to go through that. We've got a beautiful whole salmon here from Huon Aquaculture. So the first thing I want to do now, some people leave the head on. When they fill it, I'm going to take the head off. So just behind the gills and just past this little pectoral fin is where I want to make my first cut. So pull the pectoral fin to the side, go in there behind the pectoral fin and up to the top of the head here. Make your first incision, go all the way through, down to the bone, you can feel the bone there, and then I'm going to turn it over. So behind that pectoral fin again and up to the top of the skull, make another incision, line up with that top cut. So now I've got a nice clean body of the fish to work with. Because when they're nice and fresh like this, they can be a little slippery. Just want to put some paper towel underneath it so the fish doesn't move around while I'm trying to fill it. I'll pop that underneath. A bit of chucks or paper towel will work. Then a couple of bits from my hands so my hands don't get slippery. So now you can see the anatomy of the fish. You can see the backbone here and the pin bones that come down to form the rib cage. That's what I want to cut through. I want to keep nice and close to this backbone to get as much fish as I can. And then I'll clip these pin bones as I go down. You need a nice sharp knife, nice and close to that backbone, pop it in, and you'll be able to hear those pin bones break. Now I'm tilting the knife, so you can see my knife there slightly tilted down so that it keeps hitting that backbone as I make my way through. I can hear those pin bones popping all the way through the tail. So you've now got one complete side off, and you can see, looking at that, how much you've left no meat on the bone or on the fish. Taking that whole fillet off nice and clean. And if you want to take the other side off, just flip it over and do the same thing. So now I want to show you the next step whenever you're smoking something, which is brining. And the idea of brining is you create a solution of water with some flavourings in it that is saltier than the fish itself. And there's a scientific principle called osmosis, and a saying, where salt goes, water follows. So because there is more salt in the water than there is in the fish, the salt will start to permeate into the fish. And as the salt passes into the fish, it'll take water with it, and it'll take all those flavourings with it. So it's a way of getting more moisture and more water into whatever it is that you're cooking, and that'll pass not only the moisture, but the flavourings that are in the water into the salmon. We've got 8 litres of water here, which means we need about 40 grams of salt. So we'll pop 40 grams of salt in. So we'll put our juniper berries in, put our coriander seed in, and our fennel seed. So now I can put whatever, if you're doing a whole pork shoulder, if you're doing a whole piece of salmon, just put the whole thing in there and then leave it in the fridge for as long as you want. Once the salt levels in the salmon and the salt levels in the water even out, the moisture will stay as it is. So you can't over brine something. Pop that in, stir everything around, and then leave that in the fridge. If you're out camping and you're going to get to 4 degrees overnight, just cover it up and leave it outside and it'll be fine. As long as you're at about 4 degrees, you're going to be okay. Now I've taken the salmon out of the brine, just patted it dry. I can put my smoker on now. I'll cut my salmon into manageable pieces. So these are my smoking racks. This is what I can fit inside my smoker. So I just want a piece that's going to fit on there. Skin side down, 3 racks, so I can get 3 pieces. So this is a hot smoker. So not only we're creating smoke inside the chamber, and you can control the smoke with this. So if you want lots of smoke, close this one, so you keep more smoke inside the pig, and close this one, and you'll keep more smoke inside the actual smoker. If I want less smoke, I can open that up and let a little bit of smoke out. But it's also creating heat at 180 degrees in there already. So we get smoke and heat moving around. So these will take the big pieces of salmon. So these are going to take about 18 to 20, 24 minutes. We'll check on them as they go. The tail piece will probably come out first. So So I just want to slide these racks in. And you can put the thickest, biggest portion at the bottom. That's obviously going to take on the most amount of smoke. Now, salmon is perfect for smoking because it has a decent amount of fat through the meat itself. So the smoke attaches itself to the fat in the meat. So things like scotches are really good, brisket, porterhouse because it's got a nice fat cap, salmon, which is nice and oily and nice and fatty, it holds onto that smoke nicely. So we'll close that up. So that's our tail portion, which is ready to go, and that's probably going to come out about 5 minutes before the rest of it. All you need to do, like I said, this will sit in the fridge and it'll preserve it, and you can have it in salads or in pastas over the next couple of weeks. But having smoked salmon hot and fresh, there's nothing like it. All you need is a little bit of salt and then just dig in. It's moist, it's fatty, it's smoky, it's just beautiful. So if you're someone who likes hot smoked salmon, if you ever do hot smoked salmon, try it fresh before you put it away to preserve it.